In 2016, there are about 1.8 million abandoned and neglected children in the Philippines, and those that are rescued are placed within orphanages and foster homes up until they turn the legal age. An average of 260 children per year in the last 10 years are adopted. The rest are still waiting. But what happens to orphans who did not get a chance to be adopted? These orphans, also known as age-out orphans, have only one choice: to leave the homes they have known for the past years and gamble a life outside where they are unequipped. These occurrences had happened for many years, but in the present, there are foundations that cater to help them with their new life outside the foster care system. The country has an adoption crisis, and through this project, we aim to provide them with a solution using the one thing these children really need: a home.
We plan to design a co-housing facility that caters to the needs of age-out orphans, that focuses on ensuring that they have a stable environment to learn, develop, and seek employment, as well as providing them with security and support.
So a co-housing is an approach in forming a community wherein it houses different families or individuals that share a common space, which is socially, economically, and environmentally sustainable.
The project is named Square One, which is a phrase that means starting again. The project aims to help the most vulnerable sector of society, the children, especially the abandoned and neglected. The Square One co-housing will be the start of their second life.
The process in selecting the site includes the following. First, finding a region in the Philippines with the most number of orphanage and closest to the SWD, which is NCR. Second, we look for a city in NCR closest to foundations that helps to age out orphans, which is San Juan City. Third, we look for an area that is near Nayon ng Kabataan, Virlani, and Tesda, which is Barangay Corazon de Jesus. And fourth, we considered vacant lots that have ample lot size, accessible, and free from environmental hazards like the distance to the fault line. We decided to choose this site located in Corazon de Jesus Street, corner DRPA, Narciso Street, Barangay Corazon de Jesus, San Juan City, Metro Manila.
We decided to adopt the concept of living modules by Studio Balem of Paris, which is a concept that frees itself from the standard and codes of traditional living and rethinks the functions of a home. In living modules, each space is imagined as a cube with partition walls on all interior sides so that the user themselves can decide how the space flows.
We picked up the concept of living modules since, in my personal experience, I value my space greatly, and there are times that I wanted to switch up the space based on what I wanted to explore at that time, may it be for a workout, playing instruments, or having a larger space where my friends and I could hang out.
With a site dimension of 4,521.30 square meters, adding setbacks, we are left with 3,328 square meters of buildable area. We first divided the buildable area into the occupancies, residential and commercial, and added a perimeter wall in the residential area for privacy. Existing trees are also retained for acoustic and added shade. Next, we divided each occupation with a cluster of living modules. Then, we group a number of modules together to create one space. The residential building surrounds the central courtyard and is made up of 5 floors. With all the space divided, here is the final form.
There are in total 40 age-out orphans from the ages 15 to 18 that can be accommodated in the facility.
Once an individual decides that they want to leave the facility and make a life elsewhere, that is the time another age-out orphans will fill the space.
Together with the children are 2 personnels from the SWD that offer them guidelines and regulate their saving system. 1 security guard is also provided by the SWD in order to protect the minors that predominantly occupy the space.
For communal spaces, we each pick a space that is more familiar with us, and imagine it on a much larger scale since it would be used by 40 people. Since I like to cook, I decided to design the kitchen and how it would look like, while Isa and Kyla designed the other areas. The communal spaces includes a kitchen that has 10 cooking station and 20 sinks that is more than enough for the residents. It is also great since in my experience there are a lot of utensils and plates that needs to be washed every mealtime. A laundry area equipped with washing machine and dryers as well as a drying area. A two-floor study area with computers that the children can use for study, leisure, and work. And lastly, a clinic for minor medical emergencies and an admin office where they can always check in with the personnel that resides in the co-housing facility.
The private space is one of the hardest places we designed, and the technique we used to solve it is to think about what we wanted our own rooms to look like, and then we come up with the appropriate designs.
The private spaces are their units that are heavily inspired by the concept of living modules. There are single units and shared units. There can be 4 orientations of these units with a shared balcony. All residents are given 4 living modules, which is 36 square meters of ample space. The 4 living modules are generally divided into 4 spaces: bedroom, study area, living room, and their own toilet and bath.
For commercial spaces, we took inspiration from the places existed around us. Before the pandemic, I used to live in a condo unit in Manila, hence a lot of our facilities mimic the style of these facilities that I have seen before. There are commercial spaces that generate additional income for the users. There is the alfresco dining with 6 stalls, a gym that is open for the residents and customers via subscription, as well as a dance studio and a multipurpose hall available for renting. And lastly, there is a photo studio that is a lucrative business, especially since the site is near a school. One element that we also want to add to the project is sustainability.
The communal areas are great for spontaneous connection and support the social fabric of the community. This will only strengthen their relationship with each other and hone their social skills. Comfortability. This is gained by the concept of affordable housing, education, training opportunities, employment, access to support, and safety. All of these are accumulated for them to have a more stable upbringing than what they have experienced from the past. Equality and diversity. In co-housing, the children are given equal opportunities to a better future that was not given to them originally. They are free to pursue interests that are tools they would use when they are adults.
For environmental sustainability, green spaces are transformed into recreational areas which can improve the user's health and wellness. The site is accessible, which promotes walking that lessens carbon emission. There are also systems in place in order to lessen energy consumption and water usage as well as aid in heavy rains. Photovoltaic cells for solar energy, green roofs that lessen stormwater runoffs and provide shade, the rainwater system to use rainwater for water consumption. Lastly is a liquid fertilizer system for the garden surrounding the estate. The building is made up of materials that are sustainable, and the building finishes are light and natural to lessen heat absorption.
For economic sustainability, one of the main goals of the project is to provide for the aged-out orphans, not only while they are staying in the facility but also after they have decided to build a life on their own. Government subsidies are used for their daily living, while academic scholarship grants are solely for their education and are in safekeeping in which they have access to. The commercial areas will also give the residents entrepreneurial skills and are also all for sustaining their daily living and maintenance of the building. Lastly, the solar panels and the rainwater systems helps to alleviate utility costs. Since the project is a public project, the majority of the funding will be coming from government subsidies. The land cost will be bought at market value, which is 50% of the current land price. For construction costs, 70% is also from government subsidy. All in all, there will be a remaining value of 59,076,000 that will be paid off by the projected generated income of 3,502,920 pesos. Break-even is achieved in 16 to 17 years. And after this, due to inflation, the projected income would most likely increase and ensure the stability of the facility.
Square One Co-Housing Project wants to address contemporary issues facing housing and community in the context of providing homes for the aged-out orphans.
We wanted to develop a sustainable, innovative, and responsible design that will cater to the need of the children.
Lastly, we wanted to improve the lives of the abandoned and neglected children, especially those who are not adopted, giving them a chance in being able-bodied citizens in the future.